Hello everyone, it's Shanna. Now I'm going to get to working on finishing up my last set of KCC 14, and I'm going to work on sketches 6 through 10 today on this video. And you can see I've got my panel all embossed, and I've got my pattern paper pieces cut and ready to go. And I'm just going to create sketch 6, and we're going to get this embossed panel laid down on this piece of paper and or cardstock, and then we'll add our pattern paper. Now I did the first 5 previously. I think I did them on a live, and I just need to get them finished up. And I'm wanting to get them all finished up so I can get the picture of all 15 taken, and I can give them as a set to somebody for a gift. So I'm trying to get them all done up. In fact, I've done 6 through 10 on this video, and then I went ahead and made a second video where I did 11 through 15, and I'm just going to get the voiceovers done and get them aired on my channel, but the cards will be gone before the videos air because I have a party that I'm going to in which I'm taking 15 cards as a gift, and I think these are going to be lovely. I have been really happy with the color scheme. My girlfriend Daria gave me this pattern paper, and it is just gorgeous, and I love the palette, and I've had fun playing with it, and I think it's going to make a great set of 15. Now what I'm showing there is I'm going to leave those other 2 areas exposed. I'm not going to lay additional paper down because I want that embossed texture to show, and I'm just bringing in a sentiment that I had done with my Better Press, and it's been laying in my craft room, and I'm just going to layer it up with another die cut piece and get it laid down on here. Now this sketch does call for kind of like a circle or an oval on it, but I'm going to use these teardrop or whatever you want to call them and just layer them up, and there's quite a bit of yellow on that striped pattern, and so I thought I'd bring in the yellow and get it laid down on there, and I thought it'd be really pretty. And of course you've got the press, the Better Press sentiment on there, and it looks lovely. So that will pretty much take care of sketch 6. And then I decide to add some embellishments to it. So I'm just going to bring in some embellishments and just get them laid down on there. And I think that'll add to the card. And I think the embellishments look nice because we've got the circular pattern on the paper. So we've got 6 done, and we're going to move right on to 7. And for 7, we've got this pretty good size piece of pattern paper that it's going to be a landscape card. So I'm going to have to grab one that is landscape, and we'll just turn this panel and get it laid down on there. We've got a nice little white edge around there. So we'll just add some glue and get it laid down. And you can see in my little envelope there, I've got all of the elements that I need, including a little floral die cut and a square die cut piece. I've actually got 2, and I'm only going to use the one. I've decided not to use the yellow. I had it in there because there is some yellow in that paper, but I just didn't feel like it was the right yellow. So I'm going to decide to go with just the purple and lay these pieces of pattern paper down on it. And then we'll put the yellow aside, and we're going to layer up all of our pieces and just get it laid down on our card. So I've got a little stitched rope edge peeking around that square there, and it'll show with my paper. That was a die I had, and it was a pretty good match for the sketch, so I just decided to use it. Now this, I'm going to lay these pieces of the pattern paper down on their layer, and then we'll get them laid down on our card base. And I've got my sentiment there, and I've got a little flower there that I'm going to assemble. But let's go ahead and get these positioned where they go. And this is kind of how the sketch goes. So I'm lining that card up on my mat so I can be somewhat straight. And I'm just going to lay one down. And then I think I bring in my T-square to help me line up the other one. And I'll just lay it down and then edge this other one right up next to it. So they'll be even. And then I'm going to lay some extra cardstock on the back of that panel just so it'll lay even level. So I'm just going to cut it in half, and I'll put some on the top and some on the bottom, just because they're going to kind of be laying over those center pieces a little bit. And I probably could have added a little piece to the center, but I didn't. I just did these and laid them down, and we'll get them glued down, and it'll be fine. Just trying to make sure I get it even. And I really liked how this card turned out. I thought it was pretty. In fact, I liked them all. Some better than others, but I thought they were all beautiful and definitely something that I felt like I could give away as a gift. I'm actually going to give 2 sets of card sets away for gifts. I had somebody else I needed a gift for too, and I thought, I'm just going to give these away. I have so many cards. It can be overwhelming when you make cards every day. You have so many cards. And so I'm just looking for opportunities to share the love. So I'm going to add some embellishments to this and just kind of fill in some of the spaces as well. And I think it turned out really cute. So let's move right on to 8. And I'm just bringing in the card sketch and showing you. And so I'll get all my elements out of my bag here. I'm going to have a top folding. I'm going to lay this white polka dot ombre paper down on there, and we'll have a nice little white edge around there, and I like that. I like a good clean card, and I think white helps to make it look clean. And I've got some layers here, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I think I actually decided to change this pink. I decided I need a different pink to match. It was a little bit peachy for what I had there. And so I go off looking for another pink, and that's too dark. And then I grab another panel, and I think, oh, maybe this could work. It is a little bit more pink. It's definitely more pink. It is still kind of dark, but it was a dome shaped, and I just decided I would just hand cut it. So I just laid the other one down there and just hand cut around it, and I'll layer this up. And I just felt like that pink looked a little bit better with this patterned paper. It might have been a little bit dark still. And then I've got a white flower there, and I've got these strips here that I need to make a banner on the bias, I guess is what I want to say. So I'm going to lay these two side by side. I've put a nice little border around it. I'm going to trim them up on an angle, and then I'll just trim an angle for my layer. And that's the easiest way I found to do this sketch, like that. So, and I'm going to add some cardstock to that side so that it'll level up when I lay it on the other piece, and we'll just get these pieces all laid down on here. And it looks like I'm about to assemble my flower. I bring in my purple blending brush that had some ink on it and my pink one, and I'm just going to blend these up so they've got a little bit of color to them, and so they're not so stark white. And then I decide maybe I have some more of my spun sugar on my small dauber, so I grabbed it, and then I decided I'll just go ahead and layer them up. And then we'll put the littlest layer on there. And I think I even bring in an embellishment and put it in the center. So we're just going to assemble the card. Apparently I'm looking for something at the moment. Oh, my cinnamon. I needed to grab a cinnamon. And I had a little tray that I had a bunch of these cinnamons in, and I'll just keep pulling from it and bringing these little lilac-colored cinnamons in for this. And they'll go nicely because of the lilac that's in the pattern paper. And so I'm just going to get everything laid down. This is where I'm going to bring in the embellishment and put it in the center of the floral die-cut piece there. And then we'll just lay it down like this, and we will have another card ready. I'm just kind of following how the sketch has it lined up. And I feel like I didn't have that banner laid down yet. So hopefully I got the glue on that middle piece there. And I'm going to blend some more on that floral, trying to get a little bit darker. And bringing in my purple, trying to get a little bit darker. And I think that looks good. it blends nicely with pattern paper. So we'll get it glued down on there. And that'll finish up that card. I guess I did have that banner glued down. And I'm going to add a couple more embellishments because I thought that pink square looked kind of bare. And I'm going to use up a lot of those embellishments. So now we're going to move right on to the next sketch. And it's a scene card. And I took a better press plate and I pressed out that floral scene there with a couple different colors of ink. And because I did the blue, I needed to somehow tie that blue panel in. So I brought in some blue cardstock. And I'm going to lay the purple down. And then we'll put our little scene, floral scene on there, and hopefully it'll tie together with that blue on there. And then we'll use some of our pattern paper that does have the blue in it, and we'll get it laid down on there according to the sketch. And I'm going to put a little banner on the top right side according to the sketch as well, and that's what those other pieces of paper down there. I think you have some options on it. I think it's one of those sketches where you have some options, so you have some additional choices. And so I'm just going to choose the thinnest one because I don't really have a lot of landscape there for it, and I'm going to cut it down short and just lay it in the upper corner. And then I'll lay the other two aside, and I think I eventually take those other two pieces and put them on the inside of a couple of the cards just to use them up. And then I need a sentiment for this one, so I'm going to run and find a sentiment. And we'll just bring it in and we'll just get it laid down on here. And again, I'm just using those little purple ones. And I'm placing that over one of the leaves that I didn't like how it was blended. So I'm just going to cover up my little mistake and lay my sentiment right down on top of it. And we'll just get it laid down there. And then we'll bring in some more of those embellishments and try to use them up. Just trying to get them lined up evenly. Sometimes once you get them down, it's kind of hard to get them where you want them. So I'm just using that pick tool to move them around. And that'll finish off that card. And we'll move on to the next one. And I like this sketch. Now here I brought in some sage paper in which I used that same stitched rope square die, the smaller one of the nested set. And I thought that sage paper was really pretty. And there is kind of a sagey color in that pattern paper. And so I thought it looked nice. And it was kind of different, kind of a, moving away from the pink, purple, blue and bringing in that sage. And I did like that. And I thought this embossing folder, the panel there, I thought it looked nice with the diagonal squares, so that's why I chose to do that. And that's a 3D embossed panel, so it's got some really good dimension on it. And I'm just going to get them lined up according to the sketch. And my fingers are starting to get gluey. I could see I'm kind of messing with my fingertips because I'm starting to get kind of gluey. Once you're doing a bunch of cards, you have a tendency to get kind of gunked up. So I like how this looks. And I'm trying to get it lined up so that I have a nice edge. And they're in line with each other. And then trying to line up that way. And I like this one. I think it looks good. This is one of my favorite sketches. I don't know what it is about this one, but I am drawn to it. So I think I'm off looking for another sentiment. And I don't really know why I didn't bring that tray over to my desk. I just kept going back to the tray and digging one out. So this will finish up our card, and I've got 5 great cards. I hope you enjoyed watching them. I really think they turned out nice. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.